Alright, welcome back to Drive Time everybody. Today, we're talking about the real reason why we're all broke. And if you watched our last episode, we talked about the 5 chasms of our dream. Today, we're looking at No. 2. The knowledge action gap. Let's dive into it. One of the chasms of our dream is the knowledge action gap. Now, we can know everything there is to know about starting a business. We can watch every single video that Ali Abdul puts out on YouTube. We can read everything Tim Ferriss has written, study under every single guru there is. But does that guarantee success? Absolutely not. In fact, it could do quite the opposite and land us in what I call tutorial hell. When I talk about tutorial hell, I am talking about watching videos about how to edit videos or watching videos about how to grow on social media, watching videos about how to build a website, endlessly studying instead of executing. There's this saying, which is in God we trust, all others bring data. And when it comes to business, when it comes to making money, when it comes to achieving a goal, there is absolutely nothing wrong with wanting to learn, with wanting to understand, with wanting to know the ins and outs. But we cannot live in a state of endless study. We have to get to implementation. Now the question becomes, okay, well, what's the solution to this? How do we go from a place of I want to learn about this to I am actually implementing? I've asked myself this question, and over the last 3 months I've come up with a system that has allowed me to execute on my goals. And the system is pretty simple. It has 3 steps, all of which are essential. The first step is to take action. The second step is to be consistent. And the third step is to employ strategy. I'm gonna dive a little bit deeper into each one of these, but before I do, I want to give you a full permission slip. I want to give you permission to suck, permission to not be very good, permission to mess up. Why? Because if you take action, you're gonna be bad at it, you're gonna suck, you're gonna mess up, and that is perfectly okay. It's expected. Nobody is paying attention to your first time at something. No one is really paying attention to your second time at something. When we take action, we are leaving the realm of theory. We are entering the realm of reality. We are creating something that did not exist before. When we take action, we're shifting the energy, the vibe in the room. We're taking the control, the power back from the universe. Remember that scene in the movie The Matrix where Morpheus asks Neo, "What do you want to see?" And Neo says, "I want to see the truth." And then the red pill. That's what you're taking when you decide to take action. Once we take action, we have to make it a habit. We have to become consistent. And when we become consistent, we're entering a new level of the game. We're no longer relying on inspiration, motivation, or sheer willpower. We have a routine. We have a structure. And we know that even if we don't feel like doing it, we're going to show up. And when we show up consistently, we enter the realm of reliability. We become trustworthy. We become dependable. And when you combine consistency with quality, you create an irresistible force. People can sense your reliability. They can sense your dependability. And this alone builds trust, which leads to opportunity. Now, once we've taken action, once we've created something, once we've made it a habit, then it's time to employ strategy. Strategy is where we take the thing that we've created, the value that we've generated, and we intentionally direct it towards an outcome. Strategy is the difference between hoping and planning. Strategy is the difference between wishing and working. Strategy is the difference between fantasy and reality. Let me give you a few examples. For example, when it comes to content creation, you could create great content, but if no one sees it, it's pointless. You have to put a strategy in place. How are you going to reach your audience? Where are you going to promote your work? How are you going to make it visible? Another example, imagine that you're a painter and you paint beautiful paintings, but you have no plan to sell them. Well, you're painting for nothing. Your paintings may be in your garage, but you're not reaching anyone. You have to employ a strategy. How are you going to reach art collectors? How are you going to promote your work? How are you going to make it visible? We're now living in an attention economy. Everyone is creating content. Everyone is creating products. Everyone is trying to make their voice heard. But without strategy, we're just shouting into the void. We have to employ a strategy. A strategy is based on research, analysis, observation. Strategy is logical. Strategy is intentional. Strategy is purposeful. Strategy is not random. Now you might be asking yourself, how do I strategize? How do I figure this out? Well, I'm gonna tell you how. And this is how I strategize. And keep in mind that I'm just a small guy. I'm just a small YouTuber. I'm just a small podcaster. But this is what I do. And this is what has worked for me. Number 1, identify your unique angle. What is it that sets you apart from everyone else? No. 2, identify your target audience. Who are you trying to reach? Who are you trying to impact? And no. 3, think about distribution. How are you going to promote your work? How are you going to make it visible? And here's where things get interesting. When you take action, when you become consistent, when you employ strategy, you enter the 4th dimension of achievement. Let me explain this. When we just learn about something, we enter the 1st dimension. When we start to implement, we enter the 2nd dimension. When we become consistent, we enter the 3rd dimension. And when we add strategy to the mix, we enter the 4th dimension. We are now in a space where we are experiencing the benefits of our work. We are now able to generate income from our skills. We are now able to achieve our goals. I've talked to so many talented individuals who have great ideas and who are struggling to take action. And I want to tell you something. The first time you take action, you're probably going to suck. The first time you take action, your results may not be what you were hoping for. But guess what? That's okay. It's actually expected. You have to allow yourself to be a beginner. You have to allow yourself to make mistakes. You have to allow yourself to fail. Because failure is not the opposite of success. Failure is part of success. And I want you to remember this. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. You know what the best part is? The chasm that we just talked about, the knowledge action chasm, it's not just about making money. It's about achieving any goal, any dream, anything that you set your mind to. Here's the deal. We all know that dreams don't work unless you do. Knowledge is power. It gives you the ability to do something, but it won't do the work for you. You have to take action. You have to be consistent. You have to strategize. And when you do that, when you follow this simple system, that's when you cross the chasm. That's when you turn your dream into a reality. It's time to stop just dreaming about things and start working towards them. It's time to stop just wanting things and start doing something about it. It's time to stop just hoping and start planning. It's time to stop just fantasizing and start living. I hope this video gave you some insight. I hope it gave you some clarity. And if it did, do me a favor, hit that like button, comment below. Let me know what you think. And if you're new here, consider subscribing. Because here we talk about exactly this. We talk about crossing chasms. We talk about turning dreams into realities. We talk about what it takes to become an entrepreneur, to become a creative, to become a freelancer, to become whoever you want to become. This has been Drive Time. I'll catch you in the next one. Thank you.